morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to school movie playlist. And today I'm gonna talk about Ferris Bueller's Day Off. This is a movie directed by, of course, the man John Hughes. He's the man when it comes to coming of age films. And this movie is about Ferris. He faked an illness to skip school. He's a popular teenager from Chicago, and he spends the full day with his girlfriend and with his best friend, who is pretty uptight. And what's so one of the things that kind of annoys me about high school movies, teen movies, coming of age movies or shows is that most of the time they can never cast the right age for a specific character. So Matthew Broderick, who's the leading actor in this movie, he was like what, 23, 24, 25 when this movie came out, when they made this movie. And usually high school, especially if it's senior year, you're like 17, 18. So that's something that always makes me cringe about coming of age films, that they always hire an older actor but looks like a baby face. And I get that in this industry, the looks is everything. But it's like, come on. Like, come on. It reminds me, Dawson's Creek, for example. There's a character, Andy. She was like 28, 29 when she landed Dawson's Creek, and she's playing a high school student. Like, that's just mind-blowing to me, but it is what it is. Ferris Bueller is without a doubt one of the best high school movies ever made. One of the scenes that, first of all, when I see a computer in the 80s, I think to myself, like, man, people who were around at that time, that they saw the rise of computers, they had no idea what the future was gonna be like. Now we have smartphones, we have laptops, we have everything that is so on a whole nother level. So the fact that I see these old school computers is like, man, that's classic 1980s right there. But one of the scenes that made me laugh is that the principal, he was on the phone with Ferris' mother, and when he was gonna look up in the records that he has missed school like 9 times or something like that, and when he goes to check on the computer, it see that is all erased because Ferris, with his computer, he managed to erase all that. So he was a smart, slick teenager. So you have that, and also the part where he does the coffee noises with the piano. I found that to be funny and clever. John Hughes did a great job, to implement all of that in the movie. So, but those are some of the things that stood out to me from Ferris Bueller. One thing I could say that when it comes to like faking an illness, I never faked an illness. I'll say that I once faked that I had a stomach ache. And this was when I was I was like 10 or 11 years old. And at the time, my mom had Fridays and Saturdays off. And it was Friday, so I just wasn't in the mood to go to school. Not for anything. It was just one of those days where I was just like out of it. Like I wanted to have a 3-day weekend. So oh my God, I'm terrible for this. So I woke up early in the morning and I was crying, complaining that my stomach hurts. And my mom, who was off, she told me, that if you don't feel well, and that's one thing about my parents, both of my parents were like this, especially my mom, that if I'm not feeling well, stay home. But that was just only the one time that I can remember that I basically lied, just to stay home. But in Ferris' case, he wanted to spend the day with his girlfriend and his best friend. Me, I just want to stay home, with mom and, kick off a 3-day weekend, and it was a good day because that Friday I remember it was like a cloudy day. It wasn't sunny, but it was nice to spend the day that Friday with my mom. I think one of my sisters also decided to stay. I don't recall, but I know that I did. And later I ended up telling my mom that, I wasn't really feeling well, but she just laughed about the situation because like, you little but yeah, but take that as a good memory. But now as an adult, um I wouldn't, if I could go back and do it all over again, like as much as it felt good to stay home with her and start the 3-day weekend, but the conscious side of me, I would do it differently because I don't. It's not good to lie about a sickness or an illness because you never know if someday that can come back and haunt you. So, but that's something that I can resonate with this movie because it reminded me back at that time when I was 10, 11 years old, which I was in 5th grade at the time. So, and it was the early 2000s. It was a great time, no cell phones, no none of that. It was just straight talk and TV, and it was no social media, no none of that. Life was just beautiful at the time. But yeah, now in terms of grading, from 1 through 5, I'll give this movie a 4.2 out of 5 stars. Thank you for watching this video. Hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And as always, be safe. And may God bless you all. Oh, by the way, independent filmmakers, if you guys want to get an interview, if you want me to interview you, one of my playlists, Conversations with Independent Filmmakers. So yeah, take advantage of the opportunity. We're all here to support each other and help, get that exposure, that notoriety. So again, take care everyone, be safe, and may God bless you all. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another content of Back to School Movie Playlist.